Okay, I think we're live. It looks like it at least. So I guess we'll get into this. So last time the way we left off was we had this shitty script that just did not work. Probably a fault, almost definitely fault of me, not a fault of the person who made the original implementation. But between then and now, I kind of did some debugging, and it doesn't work perfectly. I'll show what this looks like now. So, oh, sorry, there's a depth limit that isn't supposed to be there. Greater than 5. Hey, how's it going? I saw you type something in chat earlier. What game? Excuse me. Sorry, I've got some shit in my throat today. What kind of game are you working on while you're watching the stream? But as for this game, sorry. This is the line of sight that we have right now. So it's supposed to work. Let me pull up the article. It's called symmetric shadow casting. This thing. So it's supposed to work pretty well. So it's supposed to look like this. Where you've got like 4 quadrants that are all equal. They're like kind of all correct. This isn't that, as you can see. These do not line up. For some reason, the bottom right quadrant is just like completely fucked. The top right quadrant is like this weird fan shape that isn't right because it's not like a straight up line. It looks more like, I don't even know. It looks weird. The only one that looks right, which is leading me to believe that it's some rounding error that I'm doing wrong, is this one. This one looks like almost exactly right, which is what we would expect because it's like -1x and -1y. But I don't know if I want to spend more time working on this, or if I want to spend more time, because there was also, let me open this up and bring this over here. Roguelike FOV. I don't remember where it was. I think it was called like Yet Another Roguelike Tutorial. I want to say it's on here. Roguelike FOV. Well, I guess there's this one, but that looks right to me. Oh, Rolo. Good news, I have a Windows laptop for SM64 decomp. Huge news. Have you gotten that set up? I know that one is probably like... What did you use before? Was it Linux or Mac or something? I'm making a top-down 2D puzzle game for a mini game jam my friends and I are having. Sick. That's sick. Like, I'm assuming top-down is in like somewhat similar to this. Oh, you had a Mac OS. Okay, I know Mac is really annoying to use for SM64 because of... what the hell is it? You have to use like Docker or something, I think, to build it. Where is... I'm assuming they put it somewhere. Shadow casting? Oh, is this like exactly what I'm looking for? Wait, this literally looks like an implementation of what I was doing before. So let's see. We've got max distance, so it does vision distance, which is better than the other one. Update FOV, which calls this function. Set cell V. Oh yeah, you have to do like chmod +x something 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 to like give permission to Windows to use files or something. So shadow casting mark visible, so we do have the quadrants. Quadrant.new. Oh, this looks like exactly what I would need. So I guess I'm curious what I'm doing wrong that they are doing correct. Because it looks like what they have here works. So how are you doing your slope? What is start slope? Column is tile.y, tiles of vector 2. This is like almost exactly what I'm doing, actually. So maybe I will use this. Row depth is tile.x? Really? Wait, hold on. Because in mine, what I'm doing is... I think I have a slope function. Yeah, so numerator is position.x. What is row? Row depth is tile.x. Where's slope called? We're passing in tile. Oh, you know what? I guess that would make sense. Does this just like fix my problem by chance? I know it most certainly won't. Sorry, this as well. No, that doesn't fix it. So hold on. Slope is row depth. Hold on. We're gonna drag this up. I'm gonna try to fix this. So we don't need the row anymore. Tile.x, so position.x is used in the denominator. So this would actually be that still. Tile.y. No, so that... Yeah, that gets us back to this. So what's the problem? How did you set yours up? Quadrant.transform, which is this function. Which are yours set up? I guess you don't really have yours set up in such a way that it matters. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I don't like doing this, but I have wasted way too much time on getting this to work for it to not work. So I'm just going to copy this over and I'm going to adapt it. Obviously, this is not going to work out of the box because of a couple things. First of which being that I'm going to need to just redo most of this. So ready doesn't matter. Update FOV doesn't matter. Unhandled input doesn't matter. Update FOV will matter. So the problem is tile map. So I think I could just use player position, player.grid position here. We can just pass in the player's position. We're in invisible tiles.keys. Oh, reset all of these. Okay, I don't care about that for now. So this is the function that matters. Hey, JW. I don't know if you were here last time, but this somewhat works now. The only problem is it doesn't fully work. So I'm taking someone else's code from the internet, which I don't usually like doing, but I cannot figure this algorithm out at all. So I'm just going to steal this almost completely wholesale. Oh, I also need to make this. No, that's fine. Fog. Is wall is not the same as is blocking. Because is blocking is a little thing. So if we're not passing in the tile, which I'm assuming is supposed to be a vector 2. No, this isn't. Hold on. No, this is a vector 2, right? Because this takes in a vector 2. Okay. Vector 2. Might as well type everything. So if we're passing in something, which this can never be true, but whatever. Hey Redstone, how's it going? So I can say var cell grid cell is equal to grid world dot get cell at this position, and blocking will return if what will return if cell exists. And cell dot blocks vision, or it will return true if not cell. So in this case, if we have a cell and it blocks vision, it will return true. Or no, is that what I want? If there is a cell and it doesn't block vision, this will be false. And it'll also check if there is no cell there. This is not what I want. What am I doing? Or no, that is right. Because I would want it to count as blocking if it's on the edge of the map. That works. Hopefully. Okay, so there's a lot of things here that might not work. And we'll have to see. Sorry. Garrett said, how long did it take you to get comfortable with Godot? I just started learning and it's so overwhelming. It will be. It took me a lot longer than it should have. I tried learning Godot 2 or 3 times before it finally clicked for me. Where I would complete the first 2D game. I would try messing around with it. I would try following Heartbeat's tutorial. And then that didn't work. And so I would drop it for a couple months, and then I would just come back and do it until eventually I don't know what clicked, but eventually it did. Eventually I got to the point where I could just like start working in it. So it's very much just like try to do something, look up the question specific to that thing, and then hope that you find it. I hope it is encouraging because like Godot is like probably the thing that I'm known for the most right now. And it took me like quite a few months to move from Unity to Godot, and that was back probably over 2 years ago, I think. Like 2.5 years ago or so. It took me a few months to be able to pick up Godot. I also, that was around the time where I was bouncing around engines. I bounced off of Unreal so much that I was just like, this isn't going to work for me. Unity was the only one that kind of worked for me beforehand. Game Maker did not work for me in the slightest. Godot was the one that worked the most that wasn't Unity. So what is wrong with this? What is wrong with this? You are not being called. Let's give you a class. Class name stolen FOV. I'm just gonna drag this in for now. Are you called site controller _2? You are. Don't do that. I also want to cite this source really quickly before I go anywhere else because I don't want to lose this and I want people to know where I got it from. Taken from... Okay, and then in the player script, instead of calling compute FOV on the shadow controller, we will call stolen FOV dot... Is it called compute still? No, calculate... What the hell is it called, man? Update FOV. Okay, and then... We should have stolen FOV dot visible tiles. Hopefully. Maybe this just works. It probably won't. It doesn't. Script inherits from node 2D, so it can't be assigned to object of type node. You're right. Does anything in here rely on it being a node 2D? No. Then we're going to keep going. Invalid function. Invalid type in is wall. Cannot convert argument from nil to vector 2. Ah. Because this is null, which is why this wasn't typed before. Okay, sure. Because a vector can't be null, ever. Okay, 1,200 errors. A lot more errors. Holy shit, the errors. What happened? What's wrong? Attempted to use has against this. So the problem here being... Tile is a vector 2? Yes, tile's a vector 2. The array expects vector 2i. At this point, you can have vector 2. Honestly, at this point, man, you can take whatever you need. And you are going to complain because pause is a vector 2i. So you know what? You become a vector 2 as well at this point. I'm done playing with you. Okay, cool. So what's wrong now? Is it because I'm removing the vector position? Does this change? Ah. So let's see what's going on here. So we should have stolen FOV, which has visible tiles. I guess let's start here. That looks like it's right. It looks like it's just offset in the wrong spot, which is fine. So let's do this. You can move up here. You can move up here. You can move. I'm going to encase the player in a little box. Where is this? So I can do a little box like this. So what should happen is there should be a small area of tiles of size. It should be about 5 by 5 because it includes the walls. So this should show me where it thinks those tiles are supposed to be. So they should be about the same point as the player, at most 2 less than or 2 more than in both X and Y is what I would say. So the current grid position of the player is 1911. Let's just write that down for a second. So 1911, which means the minimum tile would be 17.9 up to 2113, I think. Which would just be, this would be 17.9, this would be 2113. So, still an FOV, visible tiles. So none of this should drop below that. Okay, so that looks right enough to me. Which means it's a problem with rendering, probably. Is it because... Oh, I know what the problem is. Got it. I think. It's because I removed the parentheses. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So this person has figured out how to render it correctly. And I'm assuming if I were to make little points for the vision to flow out of, like so, I imagine that would update correctly, hopefully. Yeah, okay, so that already looks much, much, much more correct than whatever the fuck I did. So this person definitely knows what they're doing better than I do. Which is fair. Okay, cool. So that person knows how to make that algorithm. Hey, Vector, how's it going? I am stealing an algorithm, but with sources. So it's like not stealing, but it totally is. Because I tried to implement this solution that I don't remember who it was. They suggested using this article, and I couldn't figure it out. So I found someone who implemented it in Godot 3. I took their code and I augmented it to work with mine. And by augmented, I mean I pasted it wholesale and removed any variables that didn't work and added mine own in. And then it works now. So they know what they're doing. So now all I need to do is mark tiles as visible. So I guess now I also don't need a couple things. So let me get rid of a couple things really quickly. So we can get rid of this controller. This will be called site controller. Right here, I'll update the script name to site controller. And then I'm gonna clear the scripts that I failed to write. So this one should be deleted, this one should be deleted, and this one will be renamed. So this should maybe work. It doesn't work because this needs to be called site controller. Currently choosing what themes could be on this Ludum Dare. Dude, I am so fucking sad. Because I wanted to participate in this Ludum Dare because it's in 10 days and I love working on them. But I didn't realize that I scheduled to go to a Renaissance fair with my neighbors the same weekend. So I can't participate in this Ludum Dare. But I'm actually going to post a thing in... Let's see. Put in announcements really quickly. Fall Ludum Dare is coming up. It's a weekend on Game Jam. If anyone wants to participate, I would highly recommend it. There we go. Okay, so what was I doing? I need to... I was not going to do it solo. I have a friend Nui in the server, who I usually do game jams with, because she does a lot of art stuff and I do a lot of programming stuff. But I will not be doing it this year. Or not this year. Well, yeah, I guess this year. But next Ludum Dare for sure, which is the one in spring, I will be doing. So I want to update tiles as visible or not. Yeah, you artists. I hate artists. They're so yuck. So one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to add something here called like visible. I guess visible is already a variable. So the idea, which I think the GitHub post that I just had pulled up, I'm pretty sure had a demo of this. Yeah, so you can see like there's like tiles that have been discovered and then tiles that are currently like visible. And I want to do something like that, where at first you can't see that there is a tile there until you see it for the first time. I think I'll do that. I guess we'll have like a discovered and a visible variable, something like that. Var discovered, which is a boolean. I guess we'll just set it to false. And var. I want to use visible, but visible isn't like. I guess I could use visible. No, I couldn't use visible. Var. What's another word for visible? Seeable. Envision, I guess. So what we can do is whenever these get updated, let's see. So Envision will be updated like so. Discovered equals true. Self.modulate. No, sorry, modulate. Dot. Can I do no? Modulate equals color dot white. And then we can do or sorry, if val. So if we're setting this to true, then we'll do that. Else modulate is equal to color dot. Sorry, we'll also check if we've discovered it. Modulate is equal to color dot like a gray. We'll just do a gray for now. Else visible or modulate equals color dot. Is there like a invisible? Opaque. Modulate is equal to color. Yeah, we'll just pass in like 0, 0, 0, 0. And I want to say that should be fine, probably. And then in the player for each of, or pause in, or we can probably just do like grid world dot set player vision passing in these. So I'll make a function here. And I want to say there's already a time where I'm looping over all of the cells that exist anyways. Can I just steal that from somewhere? Yeah, you. So here we'll do if tiles dot has so if it's in the vision, then we will do spell dot just for now. I just want to make sure this works the way I want it to. It might not. So we'll loop over everything and say, sorry, in vision. Oh, that looks really weird. But that does seem about correct. There's something here? There's a wall, allegedly. Oh, because there's a potion on the same tile, which there shouldn't be. That's an issue of me. Not an issue of the system. And then maybe we set these darker and also get rid of the circles. Or let me leave these in, and then we'll do if not debug draw return. And then we'll also make these smaller so that we can actually see them, which would be this. So if I want to turn that on, I can hit play. And we can see the circles. And if I turn that off, we can no longer see the circles. So now if I move over, I should make this a little bit more visible. Oh wait, is it already to the... Are we already doing the theme slaughtering section of Ludum Dare? Let me pull that up and see. Oh yeah, okay, so we're already doing the part where we can like vote on the different ones. Let me reset this program really quickly. Wow. Okay. So let's do this. I'll make an @export group colors or vision colors at export var discovered color and export var vision color, just in case I ever want to change this for whatever reason. And then for the wall, we can just do that. Oh, and I didn't use it down here. There we go. These are not updating properly, but that's okay, I guess. Actually, why aren't those updating properly? Oh, never mind. Let's not make these exports then, or at least give them like default values. Oh, cool. Can I not? There we go. And then I should do the same for all the grass out here, which is not something I currently do. So how am I tracking these? Can I track these? I guess these could belong to the same thing as the... Like, it could just be like a grid entity. Although I don't know how well that would work. Oh, this is the spawner. Hold on. Does this just work? It might not. It probably won't. It does. Oh shit. Wait, that actually looks kind of sick. I won't lie. Ooh. Huh. Small mistake on my part for expecting that to just work, actually. Oh, because I'm not doing this. If cell dot blocks movement Q free. And we need to do this and just return out. Or maybe it shouldn't be part of the cycling. Could also do this and make it just be like a node 2D. Have no super. Get rid of it if something blocks movement. And then when the world updates, if cell.get entities dot size. Sorry, what documentary? I need the world to have a little bit more grass than that, I think. But Vector, what, when you say documentary, what do you mean? The thing about this game logic you are working on. Do you mean like the shadow casting? That's actually like really sick. I won't lie. I feel like that already makes it feel like more of a game just by having the walls block light. Yeah, I think there is actually in Godot resources. Yeah, so if you go into Godot resources, it's this one right here. And that opens this up, which has the article of all of this. There's some black magic in here, I won't lie. Like, a lot of this quadrant transform stuff is insane, and a lot of the slope stuff, or whatever the hell is symmetric does, I still don't know what that does. Even though I got it to work somewhat earlier, is symmetric is still, like, insane to me. Like, what does this look like now? Oh, wait. All the grass is visible by default because I forgot to handle that. Yeah, I completely forgot that was something I was doing. So, on world update, we would also like to handle player vision. Can I just, like... we're gonna solve this with, like, a really gross implementation. Maybe we won't. Hold on. Let's do this. Grid world dot ambient tile to grid position or self. I guess we already have access to the cell, so maybe we don't need to do that. Oh, hey, what you making? I am making a... Hold on, let me comment out this function so I can at least show it off. I'm making something similar to an old school roguelike. Ignore the fact that you can see the building in the background. Eventually, you're not going to be able to. But just copied someone's code over so that we have line of sight detection now. I still need to fix the UI at the top, but we're getting there. We have a key. We can pick it up. If there was a door, I'd be able to unlock it. We have weapons. Whenever I pick those up, I can look at my inventory. I can drop the key. I can look at my inventory. I can equip the weapon, which unequips the axe that I currently had equipped. I can just attack random shit if I want to. Broke it. And so now I'm just trying to make it so that the grass is affected by the line of sight algorithm. I'm just going to copy this from the entity, I think. Let's do that. Because I don't need to rewrite this code. And I'm treating this kind of like a game jam. So I'm just going to write some really gross code, and then if I need to, I'll come back and rewrite it. Please. Take me to the code. Ambient. So, grid world. This will also have a list of var. Or maybe we'll just have that belong to the cell itself, maybe? I think we'll just have that belong to the cell itself, actually. I think that makes sense. Var ambient tiles, which will be an array of ambient tile, which is not something I have currently. Because I need to give you a class name. So these are different than entities because they don't block vision, they don't block movement, they will never do anything other than sit there and be just ambient. So let's also do func set visible or set player vision. Set player visible. There we go. Oh, I don't know why I added an array, as if this isn't just going to be one. Am I like stupid? Did I just type something? Yeah, hold up. We're stupid. Okay, that should work. I don't know why I started the game before I did anything different. Do we have like an add entity? We do. Func add ambient tile. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is so stupid. I'm like making this super abstract. Hold on. I don't need to do any of this. You don't need an underscore because I don't care. And you don't need a function. All I need to do is go to ambient tile and then say cell dot ambient tile equals self. And then we're going to get rid of all the other stupid shit. And then that doesn't work because of what? Oh, because we're not calling the function. Duh. We are doing player vision. Set player vision. Please take me back to where I was. Thank you. So if we can see it, we set it to true. If we can't see it, we set it to false. This also needs to check if ambient tile outside of all of that. Like that. Hooray! Okay, there we go. Now that looks sick. So now we can actually see the world. That's actually insane how much of a game this feels like now just because of that one change. So the next question is, how does this work with a character? Because the characters shouldn't be visible afterwards. Specifically, I guess I have the wall layer. I can just add them to that. So I put an enemy here. So the enemy is visible. Oh no. How do I want to handle this for enemies? Because enemies should never be... I guess we can just do this. We can say, if character dot visible is equal to v. Oh shit, that's kind of cool. Huh. I don't know why it's doing that. I know why it's doing that. It's because of the cycling timer, is my guess. Display entity if character and character dot envision. So for this, okay, yeah, there we go. So he's no longer flickering in the background. There is one small problem, which is that I can still see the grass beneath him, even though I shouldn't be able to. And I want to say, do I have a function called like get all entities? No. And let's do this. We'll do a function called get entity count, at least. So this will be the total count of entities plus if there's a character. And then we can use that in the ambient tile code to hide the grass if there's anything on it. There we go. So now we can clearly see what's on this, which is an enemy. We can clearly see that if we step out of the range, he goes out of vision. There's another enemy that's up here, which we can go to. Like so. There he is. I might want to make him a different color. I might want to make the grass color a little bit darker as well. But, let's see. Sorry, I just gotta, I have a question and I can't find answer. If my function takes callable as an argument, can I define the types of arguments this callable should take in func? So you're saying specifically, like, let's say, let me go to like a nearly empty script. We'll say like ambient tile is like pretty empty, kind of. Oh, that's where we are. Sorry. So you're saying like, if I have this, which takes in a callable, is there a way to type this so that it has, like, for example, the function I want to pass in needs to have a specific signature of like string. So like, I would only want to pass in functions that match this signature. Is that what you're asking? Because I don't believe so. Unless it's in here, I don't believe you can. No, there's an, yeah, it doesn't look like there's any specific thing. Because I do use callable somewhere else. And I don't believe I use arguments for that. That was in, I want to say grid cell. Like a has any. Yeah. It's like here, I say it's a callable. Where the hell? Where I expect to be able to pass in an entity, but I don't specifically have that defined. So I don't believe there is a way to type this, unfortunately. That is definitely like a cool idea, though. I definitely think we should have that if possible, but I don't know what the syntax would even be in Godot. Would it be just like entity? That doesn't work. Oh, there's like no grass this time. What the hell? Yeah, no, I wish we did have that, but I don't believe we do. Ooh, cool bug that I need to fix now. That's because we're setting visible here. Let's do this. Func on. Vision changed. I guess this doesn't really matter. Did that still work? And how many days do I think this project will finally get finished? I mean, I have a deadline. So, whenever that deadline is, that deadline being, what was the deadline? I guess originally my deadline was the 31st, but Rivals 2 is coming on the 23rd, so it might be the 22nd. But sometime like towards the end of October is my deadline for this. And then at that point, I think I'm gonna call the project done. Because this has been so far this has already been like a really good learning experience, which is mainly what I'm using it for. But if you're asking just like in general, how many days, how do you find out how long a project's gonna take is like, I don't know, set a deadline and then work as much as you can into that deadline. And then once that's done, kind of like step back and be like, hey, is this a reasonable thing? Also, why are these dimmed instead of invisible? Because these should totally be invisible. Envision equals val. Was that a result of this? Does this just work if I don't do that? No, okay, so that's actually just a bug of the code that already existed. Cool. But why? Wait, but why? You're not discovered. If envision discovered equals true. Print. Or if self is item entity. Print bruh. Because none of these should print bruh. Ooh, these are printing bruh very often. Or sorry, only one or two of these should print bruh. Also, we're updating the player's vision every single frame. Let's not do that. How about let's do anywhere else, which is going to be action. Player input dot action. After all of this, I will say player dot Update site. I think this should work, hopefully. Okay, yeah, that works. So, no, that doesn't. I lied. I don't know why I said that works. That most certainly didn't work. What if I move? Does that work then? Ah, cool. So I guess we would await what grid world.ready? Compiler bug, unresolved assign. Sure, dude. If it's a compiler bug, I don't really care though. I didn't write the compiler. Why are we being the worst people in the world? Oh, is it because await is already called? What is it? There's like a process something, right? Await get free dot ready dot process frame. So we can wait for a frame and then we can do update vision. Function update vision not found in base self. Are you sure? Oh, it's called update site. You're so right. What is the app I use to write out the things that I still haven't done for the game? It is called Obsidian, and it is free. And I also haven't wrote anything today. So let's actually do that together. Because I completely forgot to. Line of sight, done. Line of sight works. Entities. For entities, I would like them to respect line of sight. Which is what we're doing right now. Walls, entities, characters. Currently, walls are respecting line of sight perfectly. Actually, I guess currently characters are too, and so are entities. Ooh, okay, they're not. Small bug. So you see how that guy's walking? I shouldn't be able to see him walking through the fog of war. So let's fix that. Entities are working though. Also, this has a bunch of add-ons. I know a lot of people use something called a Kanban board, which if you've ever used Trello, is like the same thing. So I would recommend checking out the add-ons. So on vision changed. This function will now... Oh, you know what? Let's see. So if we're a character... I guess I could just do this and not character. Not is character. Otherwise, we're invisible. Ooh, okay. There's another issue, which is that if this guy starts chasing me, we can actually see where he's going, because every frame that processes, we can see the grass disappear. So even though he's respecting the line of sight rendering, the grass isn't respecting him. I guess I could do like get visible entity count. we can just do this. By default, we'll say that's true. If character and count invisible. Or sorry. No, yeah, that's right. So by default, this still renders, but whenever I call get entity count in here, I can say false. And so now whenever the world updates, there we go. So I have no idea where the entity is. I mean, I know he's going to end up being like here or here. There he is. Small problem, buddy. You still have grass behind you. I guess we can do envision, maybe, perhaps. Not envision, perhaps. We're just gonna keep trying things until it works. What add-ons do I suggest? I don't know. I don't use any add-ons. I totally should, but I don't. Because I haven't had the urge to. There's nothing that I've tried to do inside of Obsidian that hasn't just been like a default feature. Fuck, he's doing that thing again. So count invisible should only be true when we are in vision. Oh, oops. Sorry, I had it right the first time. I don't have it right the first time. We are in vision, which is true. Right? In vision. Oh, because the ambient tile is set late. So let's do this. Buddy. Why are we... Oh, I know. This should be set later. Or am I doing something stupid? I'm doing something stupid. I'm only checking if the character, and we're counting invisible. If character, if count in... Or if character dot in vision. So if it's in vision or if we're counting visible. Something like that. Cool, and there's no grass that time. Cool, and there's no grass that time. There we go. So that's already incorrect. No, that is correct. It was just weird. Yeah, okay, this seems like a funky solution then. How else can I do this then? Let's get rid of this stupid nonsense then, I think. So we can just do this. So if there are entities, then we hide. Unless there is a character and that character is not in vision. Wait, no, hold on. Whatever the opposite of this is, which I think would technically be... Let's do this. I think that should do it, hopefully. Nope, I lied. But it should be in vision. Oh, I guess it wasn't set directly. So if I move to the right, buddy, this is pissing me off. Is still entity count if the character and character not in vision. I guess we'll just show. Why does it? It like updates a frame late, which it shouldn't. And I don't know why it's so late. Oh, is it because of world updated being called early? World updated is called here. Process entities is called, oh god, where is it? Okay, yeah. We're updating the vision of everything here. Let's do this. There we go. That at least like somewhat works. So now if the thing starts chasing me, I don't know where he is. I can't tell. He's there. I didn't know that's where he was. I didn't know that's where he would have gone. And then he starts chasing me again. Okay, cool. And then for the last thing, let's go ahead. Ambient tile. Let's actually export this because I don't like the color that it's currently using. I think you should be a little bit dimmer and a little bit less opaque. Maybe a little bit less dim. And maybe a little bit less, or a little bit more opaque. I guess they kind of both do the same thing. Maybe it is just like less dim. Yeah, and I think that'll work better whenever there's multiple ambient tiles that we can have. Cool. Okay, that actually... I won't lie, this already feels more enjoyable to play by like a lot. Like here, I feel like it's worth it to pick up the spear, take the 2 turns to equip it, and then attack with that. Oh, let's see. So I just remembered I wanted to ask this on my first game. In most of my scripts, I had a lot of variables being defined on top of them. Is that normal? Or do I have to try and define less variables for it having no lag? So the amount of variables you define does not dictate the amount of lag. Or if it does, it is not going to be a noticeable amount. And it's definitely not a bad thing. I mean, there are like, let me pull open a project really quickly. It's a pretty common thing because the main reason that you have like exported variables or a bunch of variables defined. I mean, like if we look at my player, so my player has this many variables defined and it extends entity, which has this many variables defined. So there's not really a problem with that. It's definitely not going to affect your performance in a meaningful way. Because it's usually the code that you write or the way that you structure things. Like if you're calling something too many times. So Definitely don't worry about that. I mean, for example, let's see. What is a function that has just like a fuck ton of variables in this file? Yeah, I mean, like, this is a very common thing that you'll see in a lot of projects is you'll just have like a bunch of exports at the top. I mean, like, you're going to have a lot of variables, so definitely don't worry about that. Even if they're exports. But I will say, this already feels much more like a game just adding line of sight. Oh yeah, I wanted to add the ability to equip a weapon from the ground, which would take 1 turn instead of the 2. Because right now, let me get this guy in vision, and I'll show you. So he's right there. So if I look down and I pick this up, he'll move a square closer. Then I have to go in my inventory and equip it. He'll move a square closer, so that's 2 squares. Like, he gets 2 turns. But I would like it instead if you could, like, pick something up and then equip it immediately. Can I equip a key? No. Oh, I pressed escape. Where are we at? Hold on. If not slot, picking item equals false. On action selected entity action dot new. Oh. Or no, target entity is null. Is action null? Hold on. Invalid assignment of property or key target with a type of previously freed. Okay, if target entity, then we'll just say that. Sorry. Most of my variables are already references to other nodes in the scene tree. That is a pretty common thing as well. The only thing that I will say is if you can reasonably, like, for example, I guess I don't do it much here. If you could reasonably export it, it's not a bad thing to do that. Like, if you export a reference. But I definitely do onReady a lot. Just try not to, like, quote unquote overdo it. Okay, cool. That works again. I also would like to add keybinds so that whenever I'm looking in my inventory and I click on this, I should be able to press E to equip it, but I can't currently. So I might add that to my to-do list. Holy shit. Oh my god, that actually feels so cool. Like, already, just being able to, like, explore the map. Even though I drew the map, like, just, like, walking around and exploring it feels really, really cool. And then I can go pick up the potion. And use it, and I healed 2 HP instead of the 10 that you can totally heal. I also want to add repeat actions at some point. Like, for example, I'm holding up right now, and I only go up 1 time. I want to add it so that if you hold up for, like, a certain amount of time, you'll, like, start moving up over and over. And I can't walk through walls. There's, like, 1 tile that I haven't discovered down here, which is that one. Oh, and it's a wall. Okay. And because of how much I've played Caves of Qud, I'm, like, I feel myself wanting to press, like, the key that lets you auto-explore. But that's not a thing that I'm going to have in this game. Man, that actually feels so cool, though. What does this look like whenever I'm outside of the vision? Cool. Okay. And then let's check performance, because I don't know what the performance looks like on this. So we'll do monitor, FPS process, physics process, and navigation. Navigation doesn't matter, actually, just the processes. So if I hit play, what does this look like? Pretty normal, because it's uncapped. Also, all of my actual processing happened inside of physics process. So there was one frame of physics process that took 16 milliseconds, which is the first one. And then if I move, this takes about 9-10 milliseconds on average, it looks like. Which is not a bad deal at all. Because that means that we can run around at like 60 FPS. I'm actually curious, what takes up the most call time? Doesn't really tell me very much. Can I zoom in? No. I don't know the difference between these, I won't lie. The audio thread took 0.02 milliseconds. I sure hope it did not, because there is no audio in the game currently. Okay, let's do... So line of sight is respected. Was there anything in here? This needs to be done still, but not today. This needs to be done. Let's add... for... items. I want to add equip from ground. So I want to be able to equip something directly off of the ground. So let's add that after I commit. Git add dot git commit line of sight works, which is a huge change. I'm so happy that it works. Sorry, my microphone. I need a new stand for this microphone. Okay, so let's do that. So for the dialogue, it is specifically going to be the action dialogue. And it's going to be looking at item action dialogue as well. So if target is an item entity, how are we doing equip item? Oh, if it's a basic weapon. Okay. So let's do that. So if target entity is item entity, and we will also say if target entity dot item is basic weapon, then we will add the equip action. Oh, there's a small problem actually. So equip action expects a slot. Whereas I guess we don't specifically need it to be a slot. Let's see you, Vector. Have a good one. Can I just make this like an item? Or, oh, you know what? Actually, I should check something. So let's say, for example, does the game still work? The game still works. Let's say I pick up the spear. Oh, I just attacked the spear, and the game is not happy about that. Oh, that's fine. Oh, these are not the same spear. Wait. Okay, that's not going to work in the first place then. Let's say I grab this, duplicate it, drag it over. There we go. So these are the same spear. So I have two of the same spear. If I drop one of them on the ground, it's called spear. If I... Oh, actually, another small problem. I actually just... Oh, did I drop the entire stack? Because I don't have a spear in my inventory now. You know what, JW? You're so right for that. And you know what? It's also root beer time for me. So I guess what I'm doing is whenever I drop it, I'm dropping all of them, which is a problem. It's the Zevia brand that I told you about, the no sugar one. So I guess I could make a new item slot, which feels a little weird, but I think that's fine enough for now. If action type equip. So do we have an access to the entity? Target entity is not currently being used. The lip. Var target entity. If target entity and target entity is item entity. Then I'm assuming we have something we can equip. This feels really gross and dumb to do, but we will say target entity dot item. We will pass in the item slot new. And the count will be target entity dot item or dot count. Yeah, for now. Just to make sure this works. And we didn't pick it up off the ground. Maybe I won't do that then. I don't feel like making this work yet, because this is going to require some thought that I'm going to keep in the back of my mind for a little bit. Yeah, there's also an error here. We don't have an item slot for that. True. I don't. Let me change how I'm sitting. Sitting straight up with your feet on the ground is like boring and shit. Okay. So what can I do now? Right now. I could make like a little test level. Let's do that. Let me add that to the to-do list. Game. Make test level. Oh shit, I also need to add equipment screen at some point. So let's do this. Let's make How would I want to do this? I don't even know what the world is. What does the world look like? Like, what size? Oh shit, I forgot I have line of sight enabled. Okay, so we are off by a little bit down there. So this could stand to go up just a little bit. Okay, that's off the screen by one tile. Also, my camera's off by a little bit now, which is cool and great. Because I shouldn't be able to see off the screen there, but I can. There's like this little bit. Ooh, what is that? What is that? Why is there like a little gap right there? Has that always been there? Oh, it's definitely up here too. What? Huh. Is this divisible by tile size by chance? It's not. Which means this is... No, this is supposed to be on half a tile. Right? Or should this be like up 8 pixels? Well, that didn't do shit. Oh, because I moved it to the left. Oops. Wait, does that also not mean that... should the world not be off by... No, the world's fine, I guess. Yeah, that's flush, and that's flush. So what about you? You also should be right. But you're not. There's like 4 pixels of room down here. You know what? I'm ignoring it. I'm just gonna ignore it. Let's make a little level. So the player's gonna start in this little room. There's going to be a slightly larger room. Like so. Oh, oops. Don't do that. There's going to be a locked door, which I will manually add in. A locked door. There will be an item entity down here. With a key in it. I also want to change this really quickly. This has been pissing me off. I want to make this a tool. And I'm going to say set. And then I think if I reload this, this will just work. And everything should have the correct texture while it's in the editor. There we go. Cool. Okay, now it looks like a game. Now I'm doing actual game development stuff. And we have a key. And if I were to change this to a potion, it changes to a potion. And if I were to change this to a spear, this is a spear now. Sick. Are these errors for me? Yep. Oh, because if not editor or engine dot is editor hint. Cool. Okay. So now we have that. I also want to... Sorry. I also wanted to do this. Okay. Process if engine.is editor hint. Whenever I move the position, I want to set it to, fuck, how am I calculating grid position again? This. I just want to do this. Does that work? Uh-oh. Invalid assignment of property or key texture with the value of type atlas texture on a base object of type nil. Okay, so small problem. You shouldn't be nil. Why are you nil? How are you nil? How is sprite nil? Item is set. Sprite is nil. Okay, sure. I'm not going to pretend like I know you, but... Is it because... Hold up, let me reload the project just in case it was something I did wrong here. Oh, what is this? Hey, I want to make my complex gun component as a collectible, and I don't know how. I'm going to need a little bit more specific information about that. What do you mean, like, as a collectible? Okay, this still breaks because... What is this? What creature is this? Self. Basic weapon, sprite, null. Basic weapon of type spear. Why? Position at 288, 272. Am I running the wrong thing? No. Oh, something's fucked. This guy's the one that's breaking. But you have a sprite is the problem. Like, you totally have a sprite is the only issue I have. You need me to do if sprite? And does that just work? Because it might. It did. Okay, sure did. I think it's just some weird tree order stuff. Okay, so this will be a key. It currently isn't. It should be. If I reload the project, do you reset back to an axe? I hope not. Because if you do, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be really upset. You did. Everything did. um... I just want to make sure all these load correctly, which they currently aren't. Okay, those work outside of game, and inside of game they work as well. Also, hold up, let me see if I read this wrong, because I might have read this wrong. But I'm pretty sure that what is his name? You know, it should be right here. Oh, they removed it. Hold up. Who's the main Godot guy? It's like Juan Lenietsky. I believe we got a really cool update about Godot. We did. So there's currently a proposal. If you've ever used Unity, this is a very similar or a very familiar feature that is being worked on currently, which is the ability to see your game in editor and be able to edit things inside of the scene tree. So for those of you who are coming from Unity and are used to this, this is currently in the pipeline. This is currently drafted. This is currently somewhat being worked on. And the branch was called Guess Godot is Unity after all. So it is currently being worked on, which I think is sick as fuck. And it honestly looks better than the Unity version currently. Because it looks like this might line up with the camera, but I might be wrong. But if this ends up making it into 4.4, this will be like the most insane shit ever. That I think would be so cool. What's the progress on this right now? Oh, like look at that, dude. Look at this. It's not even in the editor. There's a secondary game screen that you can enable this like picking thing, and whenever you click, it'll select the object in the world, and then it'll select it in the inspector. Like, that's fucking cool. That's so cool. I didn't even see this. This is like... I really hope that this makes it down the pipeline before the end of the 4.4 development cycle. I honestly feel like most people would... I feel like most people would be okay with 4.4 waiting for specifically this feature. But yeah, anyways, I wanted to bring that up. Sorry. What did you say? My gun component is a scene that has exported variables like damage, range, etc. I want to make the player collect that gun. I want him to add a child, you know. Shouldn't you be able to do player.addChild, or if it exists in the scene already, whenever you like let's say it's on the ground and you want to pick it up, you can just you can call reparent on gun and pass in the player, and it will set it as a child of the player. Let me add a door. We can actually add a non-locked door here. Right, like so. So a door. We will also add an enemy. Rah. An enemy here. And then we will add... How about this? We'll make a little corridor here with a door. This door goes into a little storage room or something that has like... It has a spear in it because spears are strong. So you want a spear. So that doesn't seem to have worked. Is this not running? Am I stupid? No, that is running. Cell size dot floor. Global position divided by cell size dot floor. I guess we're multiplying cell size immediately back on. So something like that. Yeah, there we go. Well, that doesn't exactly... That's not how it lines up with the thing. What does this look like in game, actually? Yeah, see, you end up here, which... I guess I can just do like vector 2, 8, 8, something like that. And then... So we have a spear in here behind this locked door, which is currently locked. Then there's also... So this key's behind these guys. We'll have an unlocked door here. With a larger room. With more enemies that you can fight through. As well as a potion. Which I believe is here. So that you can heal up before that. I just want to test what this feels like currently. Okay, so we're in the world. We open the door. There's 2 enemies. That enemy sees us, so he's going to walk our way. We can fight him. Let me fix the thing. This guy sees us, so he walks up to us. We fight him. We make it out by the skin of our teeth. We pick up a key. We go and we unlock the door. And we grab the spear. Let me equip that. Use the potion. We got 14 HP. Got 2 dickheads moving into the room. Probably gonna die. There's a chance. No, I died. But I mean, honestly, it's got some... It's at the point where it's like got a little bit of playability now. Like it actually feels like a game with line of sight and with equipable items. I guess now would be kind of a time to ask the question of like, what does the game need? What does the game actually need to be a fun, enjoyable experience? It is, quote unquote, impossible to dodge attacks because it's like, it's not supposed to be a game where you can like get out of the way of attacks. It's like there's a random chance for something to hit. I guess that is a question of like, okay, we need armor. Obviously, there's no armor, so you can make it so that there's a chance that an attack just doesn't hit based on your armor and the attack's like skill. Let's actually add this. I'm gonna do a new folder. I'm gonna call this. We'll just call it the game for now. New note. We'll call this featured list. So, what does the game need to feel like a game? So, the first thing is items. We need to be able to see our equipment. So, equipment screen. We need to be able to equip armor. Armor, which will add a chance to block attacks. Or I guess or dodge, depending on how it's implemented. We need... let me add a thing for weapons really quickly, because I guess... Headphones. Is this 4? No, this is 3. And then we'll call this... We'll say I would like to add ranged weapons at some point, like a bow. We'll just call this combat, actually, because I would also maybe potentially like to add throwable objects, and also maybe the ability to add spells. I don't know if I'm gonna get the spells. I might just keep this a strictly non-magical world for now, minus potions. So we'll add this here instead. Equip armor. We'll add armor value, chance to block, maybe what is it, evasion, chance to dodge. Oh, sorry. Is that a serious project or you just made it for fun? It is half serious, half for fun. So it is a project made so that I can kind of show off the game dev process on stream and answer any questions that people have or show them things that they might not know. And it also is nice for me to like see what people don't know so that I could maybe make a video explaining certain things. Like I know I need to make a video on resources now because I've had a lot of people ask how resources work. But it's also just like something for me because I want to make an old school roguelike one day, like a full one. And so currently, I mean, I have grid-based movement, I have line of sight, I have interacting with objects, I have turn-based combat, I have, you know, a lot of things. So it's just a nice project to have. So it's neither for fun nor for like a serious project. It's kind of both. I also need to add RNG to this because, or not RNG, procedural generation, because who doesn't love procedural generation? Okay, we healed for 2 HP. That really sucks. So let's also do world. Procedural generation of some form of stuff. The attack doesn't look that old school. What do you mean? Like, because there's like a little animation thing for it? Because a lot of the inspiration I'm drawing from is Caves of Qud, and that's kind of the same attack animation they use in the game. I would also like to... Let me fix this really quickly before I forget about it. The action manager... Where is this? Hide top bar. Is this correct? Yeah. Sure. There we go. So now we have HP whenever we start the game, instead of having the wrong message up there. As for the... Or no, sorry, I already have the world. Procedural stuff, multiple dungeons. What else do I want to add to make this, like, actually enjoyable? Obviously, there needs to be an end. Like, at some point. There is the end. I guess we'll also add a thing for, like, God, what is it called? It's not game feel or game juice in this context. It's like polish, I guess it would be polish. Sounds. Like, whenever you open a door, I want there to be, like, a little, like, a little door opening sound that plays whenever you hit an opponent. I want there to be like a little or something as you like hit them. So those would be like door sounds, attack sounds. We don't need to put sounds. We know what this section is called. Door, attack. I guess there would be like unlocking door, opening door. Because I want those to be different. Picking up items, potentially. Swapping equipment. I'm ditching my disgusting addiction to League of Legends and booting up Godot. Honestly, man, couldn't be me, but I'm happy that you can, I'm happy you can drop your League of Legends addiction, because I know I can't. Oh, hold on, I need to refresh my thing on... Can you make the ability to summon monsters like allies? Maybe? There could be allies. I'm gonna do like... We'll do like stretch goals. If that's something that we have time for, because allies sound like it'd be a lot of work. Especially with the current way that I have AI set up. Allies. Let me add spells under that, because spells are kind of a stretch goal. Because I don't know if I want to currently. Oh yeah, I wish I could drop my League of Legends addiction. I'm hoping to replace it with a Rivals 2 addiction when that game comes out. Because let's see, what is my... Wasted on LOL. What are we sitting at? Since 2018, 5,108 hours. Yeah. Not Deep Rock. Deep Rock is probably not going to be an addiction for me. It's definitely going to be just like are people on playing Deep Rock. And I'll probably play it. I don't think you could catch me playing Deep Rock single, like by myself. Maybe if I'm like really drunk or something, but other than that, I don't think I'm playing Deep Rock by myself. So I guess this is kind of like a good list of things. Like, I want to be able to see what I have currently equipped. I want to be able to equip things other than a weapon. I want the world to have some procedural rooms. I want there to be multiple dungeons. I want there to be a designated end. I want to add ranged weapons. I might work on that on Thursday. I want there to be throwable objects, which would kind of tie into ranged weapons. Change the ability to have block. Excuse me. Have the ability to evade things. I would also like to add sounds. And then maybe allies or spells. And then at that point, it would feel like a game. What's my dream game? I don't know yet. There's something deep down inside of me that says I'm gonna have to skip Toad Factory again. I don't feel like listening to you. Speaking of, actually, there's something deep down inside of me that says I want to make a Metroidvania, like, cave story. But I feel like every indie dev wants to, at some point, make a cave story. So that's not exactly like a unique one. There's also just like a few other games, like God, what was it called? Archvale? Is it that? Yeah, like also like some game like this, Archvale, which is like a top-down adventure type game with like bullet hell stuff, but it's like not roguelike. Something like that. see, Saint Webby, you say that. I actually do. I really enjoy League of Legends, the game. I don't enjoy League of Legends, the people. But League of Legends, the game, is actually, like, such a satisfying game to play. Let me add this as well. I need to... UI. Fix health bar issue. Boom. Done. Make test level, which I have done, kind of. Let's do this, actually. Let me change this a little bit. Just because I want this to be fun to play around with on my own. We'll make the storeroom back here. And then we'll put one enemy here. So he's kind of guarding the key. We'll move this door over here. And put the door up here. So that you can actually just avoid fighting this guy if you want. Kind of thing. Oh, what is this? That's very fair. 5-man clash games are fun sometimes, depending on how the group feels that night. If the group is like really salty and shit, it's not that fun, but there's not that many good Metroidvanias. That's kind of true. There's a lot of old school ones like Castlevania and Metroid, obviously, or Super Metroid specifically. I don't want to start talking about good or bad Metroidvanias, or else people are going to get upset with me. Because there are some Metroidvanias that people think are great that are really bad. Yeah, there we go. So we can avoid this guy by going straight over here. If we want, but then we run into this room full of a bunch of dickheads. And now there are 4 dickheads on the door? What do you mean? Wait. There's a problem here. There are 4 dickheads on this door. There's supposed to be only 1. Ever. Uh-oh, doors are broken. Surprise. Oh yeah, okay. This guy, this dickhead is forever trapped in limbo now. Yeah, so he's actually in a different plane of existence. And I don't know, there was no error in console, so something bad happened. Which is that the enemy moved onto a position that already had something on it, which is a problem. Is this being used anywhere currently? No. Oh no, dude, enemies can walk through them each other now. Move toward pause, which is this function. It checks if there's a door. It doesn't check if there's a character on that square. But I want to say, hold on. No, you're false. This should update pathfinding, shouldn't it? When the enemy updates, it should update pathfinding. And if there is a character on the cell that blocks movement should be a function that if there's a character on it, it returns true. So why did you try moving onto the same square? I'm just curious is all. That's like my only question is like, why did you do that? You weren't supposed to. So we have an action top position. I will save our cell. Okay, there we go. Do you have any idea on why a scene of control nodes would take a long time to open? No. It shouldn't be taking a long time to open. Is it whenever the game first starts, or is it just like anytime you try opening the menu? Because I have a bunch of menus that whenever I press like if I walk up to this wall, like this is just a bunch of buttons. If it's when the game first starts, it's because like the game has to start, but if it takes a long time just to open the menu, also, buddy, I thought I had that fixed earlier. What do you mean? What is... When I boot up the scene, if I boot up my main scene, it's nope. Probably, and that has way more. I don't know. Unless there's like some script that's doing something weird in it, it shouldn't take a long time. Why are we not... Like, if I were to call this every single frame, this would just, like, work, right? Like, I'm not, like, going insane for this one. Yeah, that works. Sorry, I just saw something insane. Why was that visible? Just curious. I don't know why that was visible. If I, like, sit here, like... That doesn't become visible, right? No. Weird. Weird, but okay. Oh, cool. Why are you visible? Let's see, how would I... So what happens whenever I press, like, wait? Where's move wait? Move wait, action type, action wait, player input. This will perform the action. Is the problem that entities need to be processed one time? Is that the issue? Like if I were to make this update, hold on. Player, move wait. What about if instead of this, I just did like update site so that I can choose to do this at a later time? That, like, almost worked. So there's something that happens inside of player input that causes things to work, and I don't know what it is. It's not this, because that just sets that to process. Process entities. Oh, you know what it probably is? It's because the grass spawner is above the player, isn't it? Nope. There's like a weird bug going on there. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Grid world dot world updated dot emit. So what if I do that? Oh, that still doesn't work. Or is it because of this? Grid world dot updated dot emit. Oh, no, that works. Okay. So I just need to do a couple things. So the await get tree dot process frame. I can call update site. And inside of grid world, once, can I do like a, I guess I could also do a wait get tree dot process frame world updated dot emit. Does that work? Does that fire in the correct direction? That doesn't. Fuck. This is so stupid. I'm just gonna wait for 2 frames then. Can I just do that? No, that doesn't work. That also caused a small issue. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, sorry, hold on. Just wanted to come by and say thanks for the finite state machine tutorials. They were very helpful. Hey, I'm glad that you appreciate it, or that they helped you. Even with kind of how old-ish they are. Because I think... Oh, God. Wait, how old is that tutorial? Is it like a year and a half now? Or is it 2 years yet? It is a year old. Don't talk. June 15th. Damn. Wow. I'm glad they can still help people. What is wrong with this? So in grid world, what are the chances? I don't think this is what I want to do. But what if after every entity gets added, I can just call world updated? Like, is that just gonna do it? No. I'm so lost as to why this isn't working. Because I want to make this, so if I do none. Yeah, okay, so I actually need to call update site here. Is that all I need to do now? Because I just need to call it after everything's fixed? No, there's something else that's happening that needs to be handled. Okay, and it's because... Okay, we're gonna do something weird here. Create a world. World updated. Emit. I'm gonna have the player emit the actual ready signal for the world, which feels a little weird. And even that didn't work. Is this not wait for a frame? I really don't know why this isn't working. What if I do like update site? This feels really gross. What if I just wait for like another frame? Well, now there's no grass under me because there was no grass that spawned there. Okay, that works. We're gonna do that. And I'm gonna say to do, please fix this one day. This feels really gross. What's the best way to export a game to itch? Via web, if you're able to, if you don't use C# and if your program doesn't rely heavily on GPU specific code. You can build it as a web build, zip it up, specifically zip, not RAR file, upload it to itch, and then you can play things on itch. For example, this is a Godot project that was made and exported to web. Oh. Oh, cool news. Actually, oh, never mind. There we go. So you can export it so people can play it directly in their browser. That's how I would recommend it. And that is just by going up here to export, adding a preset for web, and then managing the export template, download and install, and then you can export it and zip it up into a zip file. Yeah, typically we don't like people sharing EXEs around, but if you just send people a link to itch, like, there's a... I don't believe that's unsafe. I'm pretty sure itch sandboxes things, or at least Firefox does. Okay, well now, actually, I'm curious. Because I have a config file saved on my computer. What happens if I open this up in a private browser? Can it still read that config file? It doesn't. Because on the... I set this to 1 accidentally, and also this was set to 0. So it actually can't read the config file. It's like a per... like the browser sandboxes it. That's kind of cool. Do I recommend any sites other than itch? I don't know of any, I'll be honest. Like, it's mainly just itch. You can also put it on Steam, but it's, you know, everyone knows about Steam. Also, it costs money, and you have to set up, like, a business or something for it. Okay, but that works. I wanted to check this as well. Oh, they moved onto the same fucking square. You weren't supposed to do that. Why did you do that, you fucker? You know I told you not to do that. Why did you do that? If action is move action and cell.character. Then we turn it into a wait action. Oh, because anyone see the bug? Type is a enum, and I'm checking if it's a move action, which is a class. I mean, I guess I could do if action is move action. That's why he destroyed his partner. That's why he sent him to the Shadow Realm, and he could no longer participate in reindeer games. Oh, just kidding. There's more issues than that, actually. Cool. Does this ever get fired? I switched from Game Maker to Godot. It is perfect, but the lack of tutorials. What kind of tutorials do you mean? Like, what kind of tutorials are lacking? Because I feel like we have quite a few, like, just general how to make a game. Oh. Wait. No. I did not participate in the Brachy's game jam. I mean, if the cell is empty and both enemies decide to walk into it, they would overlap, wouldn't they? The only problem is the enemies are updated one by one. So one enemy would step into the door, and then the other one would try to and would see that it's there. So there's... Let's see. Grid position. So we grab the cell. This never hit this breakpoint. Because... of something. Do we ever hit this breakpoint? Because we shouldn't, but we might. It might be a problem of... No. So why the fuck? Is this the right function? Is this being called? Am I in the wrong file? What if I told you I'm in the wrong file? What if I told you I'm just reading the wrong file? What if it's in enemy chase? Oh, wait, no. Oh, no, it is an enemy chase. It's an enemy state. Check it out. Because I have zombie code. This is why you don't want zombie code, because I was editing a function that isn't used anymore. Check this out. That's not used anywhere. So now do we... Yeah, now only one character can move into it. So whenever I kill this guy, the next one files in. There we go. Huge. There we go. Not the GD script tutorials I can learn from the doc. I mean logic tutorials. Okay, so like stuff similar to like what I do with like how to use composition instead of inheritance, or like how to like how the fundamental things work and go. Or like just useful tips and tricks. There are I want to say GD Quest as a design pattern tutorial series. Yeah. Here. This place. GD Quest has a bunch of let's see. They have a few different design patterns which are similar to like finite state machine. I think they do theirs also node, but a little bit different. I want to say. Yeah, because they have a... Or no, sorry, it's down here somewhere. Finite state machine has a state. Finished, connect, await. Enter with a blank string. Oh yeah, previous state path. Okay, yeah. So they do theirs a little differently, but they also do cover a lot of the same kind of things that I do, like design patterns, but obviously like a little different. They also have, allegedly, they have a design patterns project. So I would also check out GD Quest. And apparently they have C# versions as well, potentially. They do. Oh, you know what I want to see, actually? I want to draw the path of the enemy, I think. Although I don't think I can do that. Maybe I can't. I can draw a line of sight though, and this will look really cool if I do. I'm gonna do that because I need a little bit of motivation to keep me going right now. So look at that. Oh, that's actually sick. Only the ones that are in vision show up. You can't see me, but I can see you, which feels really weird. That's a little bizarre. I wonder... So I know the reason for that is because I have a pathfinding util, which is how I'm drawing lines from the enemy to the player, which is different than the algorithm used by the player to see the world. I wonder how performance intensive it is to run that update for every enemy. Like, do you think I could just like sight controller and then just like reuse this for the enemy? I guess I could. Maybe I'll do that. Let me try doing that. Share line of sight with player code. So let's do that. So instead of passing in the player like that, I will call update FOV entity vision range int. We will call shadow casting with entity dot grid position vision range. Or okay, actually that's not gonna work. Honestly, I can just do get owner. I need to on ready this though. Anything that says player? No. Anything that says player dot? Some comments say player dot. Whatever. And then instead of max vision distance, I want to say entities have a vision range. They don't. Then I guess we'll just do like vision range here. Set this to 0 and then have whatever it is. Assign that. So for example, in the player, we will say and then update FOV, we'll take in nothing anymore actually because that's going to be set. Does that still work for the player? Or does this break it all? Oh, that works. Okay. Sick. So now the question becomes, if I just give this to an enemy, just wholesale, if I say site controller, and then in the enemy, I onReady this. Don't you have a function? Don't you have a class name? You do. Before we update our state machine, which is where? State machine. So before we update our state machine, I will say site controller dot AFOV, and then I will say var visible tiles. Or I'll say visible tiles equals site controller dot visible tiles. Are you a vector 2i or you're a vector 2, right? You are. Gross. So then when we do process on this, the current state, I guess it would make more sense if I have like a reference to the player for now. So let's do this. So I can see player. How do I want to do this? So once we update the tiles, I guess we'll just like say can see player equals check for player. Func check for player. That being returning a boolean, and we can say, because we have a reference to the player, we have a reference to the player's grid position, so we can say if visible tiles dot has a vector 2, because this is a vector 2i of the player. Instead of doing the if check, we can say return that. So if we can see the player's position, then that means we can see the player for now. Maybe the player can go invisible, but I'm not going to try to code everything in. And then can see player needs to be a var can see player. And then inside of the chase state, instead of querying grid world can see, we will just say can see player. I guess we don't even need that. We can just say enemy dot can see player. Cool. Does it work? I don't know. Looks like it for now. There was something a bit weird there actually that happened that I don't... You guys did not notice, but I did. So he's also not attacking the player, but he's supposed to. He's also not always following the player, but he's supposed to. Let me double check this. What do you mean he can't see the player? I promise he can. Because otherwise he shouldn't be moving. Hmm. I'm actually very confused on that. Hey, buddy, can you do me a favor? Can you just, like, draw all of your tiles really quickly? Do this for me. Do this bit of code. Put on the enemy. Because something's going terribly wrong here, and I need to double check that you're existing in a way that makes sense for me. Huh. What's the reason for that? Oh, you know what the reason for that? There's a couple weird things here, actually. The main one being, why are we moving towards the player if you can never see him? Can't see the player, could see. So this should only become true if he can see the player, right? So why the fuck are you moving? See, you shouldn't be moving, ever, actually. Oh wait, hold on. You can't see the player. You could not see the player. Oh. Not returning. It's the action. W. There we go. Is that gonna do it? He should never be moving towards me. He is. And he isn't supposed to. Oh, hey, Jack Mac, how's it going? It's also a Vaporeon, not a Jolteon, but thank you. Also, welcome in, Cuphead fan. I am working on an old school roguelike in Godot, and currently, it's doing something stupid. Because you should not be moving. You should not be moving. Action is move towards position, but you shouldn't be moving towards the position. In fact, actually, the position should always be your own position, if anything. The position of the enemy is what? 1 in 10, moving towards 414, which is where the player was. Explain to me. You need to explain to me with all of your heart how you got that information. Because you shouldn't know where the player is. Yeah, getting some stuff knocked off the checklist. I mean, today you can see that we have line of sight now for the player. So the world gets, like, revealed as you find rooms and things. You can stop right now. A couple other things, like the UI, whenever you press space, it tells you that you can now pick a direction. There was nothing there. But if I pick the wall, I have the menu. I also came up with a list of features that I would like to kind of hit before the game is over, before the deadline that I have for myself. So let's find out what's happening with you, because you could literally never target position. Oh wait, no, sorry. So idle. Oh, because I'm still using this code in here. Oh my god. Can see player. All right, we can get rid of the breakpoints now. I found the issue. Yep, we got it. We figured it out. That was something that just made everything click into place. So now this guy should literally never move. I can walk up and hit him as much as I want. Because I figured this one out as well. The side controller needs to have a vision range set. And the vision range of the enemy is 8. The vision range of the player is 12, which means the player has to move just a little bit closer to the enemy. So we can see the enemy's vision range here. So as long as I skirt this, he should not move towards me. The second I move into it, I'm a liar. Why? Player grid position is 215. Is that not set to true? That is false. Why? Oh, because visible tiles is not something I assigned. Oopsies. You're so right. Because that's a local variable and I need to use site controller dot. So now, once I refresh this, once I step into his range, look at that. Oh, that actually is like, that actually works so sick. So I wonder what the performance on this looks like. Let's say I drag the player out into this big open room, and then I just scatter like a bunch of enemies in here. What do we think the performance of this is going to be? Because we're going to have like a bunch of fuckers. I think the performance is going to maybe be not great, but we'll see. We can always play around that though. We can always have we can always limit the amount. That actually looks so fucking cool. Hold on. Wait, that actually looks sick. Oh, can I not hide all of these at once? I guess I can't. Ah, that sucks. I wish I could hide all those at once. Ooh, cool performance hit. Let me do on-screen keyboard so you guys can see what their performance feels like on that, because it's not great. So, oh, there's no numpad on this actually. I don't think I can do this. That doesn't work. Hold on. Turn on numeric keypad. There we go. So I'm going to hit 4 to move to the left, and you'll see the delay. Ooh. That is not a terrific amount of performance, but that's okay. So what is a reasonable amount of enemies before it starts to feel like shit? The answer may surprise you. That's kind of responsive, actually. It's not perfect, but it's honestly not that bad on that one. Yeah, I mean, like, the physics process takes, like, a quarter of a second. That's not a long time, honestly. And I wonder if it will tell me what took the longest amount of time, because I have a guess. I have a very good guess on that one. Frame percent, I guess. I can't really see. I wish I could zoom in on that. It's just something in physics frame. It doesn't tell me what. Whatever. I know what it is. I know exactly what it is, but I wonder if the biggest issue is this. I said that might be an issue eventually. No. Okay, so the issue almost certainly is this thing. Yeah, okay. The issue is definitely the sight controller. Oh, like, look at that. That looks so cool. So I might look at some way to optimize this at some point. I'm trying to think of how I could. I guess with there being like 4 quadrants that it checks, I can just check which quadrant the player's in and only update that quadrant to find the player. I think that's doable. So let's go back to enemy. Performance sometimes sucks. This is the reason. One optimization is to only check only update FOV in the player direction. Maybe base it around the player's range and send them a signal instead of having each enemy having their own radius. Oh, you know what? You're kind of right. If it's, I mean, for something like this, I think saying an enemy has more range vision-wise than a player would be like kind of a shit thing to have in a game like this. So you're right, actually. Another is to only check the FOV from the player and use that to determine enemy FOV. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Cosmic, actually. That's actually not a bad idea at all. That's actually a really good idea. And I want to try doing both of these eventually, and that will be on my to-do list for, I'm going to go ahead and start writing that for tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, Thursday. Oh, that's unorganized. Where? Whatever, new folder. September, today's the 24th, so it'll be 26. Hey, Torin, how's it going? Let's add a new note. Game for code goals. Enemy. Optimize enemy FOV checking. Either limit to only check quadrant that player is in, or leverage the player's FOV check, or the player's Fox check, FOV check to send the enemy how far away they are. So I guess we could actually, I mean, technically we could do that already, which is, we can actually see if that works well. So in sight controller, if row.depth is rated to max vision, I don't want to do that yet. Never mind. But I think honestly, this already feels like it's a pretty cool thing. Like just being able to just being able to get rid of these guys. These guys are in the way. So with the player being there, and I draw some walls. Oops, erasing. Being able to have it so I can like unveil parts of the world. This already feels so much cooler than hold on, sorry, I'm getting a spam thing. This already feels so much more like a game already, just having this. Where you have the line of sight and you kind of like unrevealed the level or whatever. Whatever the hell the right word is for it. But anyways, I think that's where I'm calling it for tonight. So I'm going to go ahead, put the player back in his little box of doom. And then do a git commit. Git add dot git commit. I'm going to do end of day 9, I want to say. We have this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10? I don't think that's right. Hold on. GitHub. I want to say it's day 9, because I think I skipped the day. I did skip a day, so it is day 9. What's the name of the game with the black cat in it? Is it this one, or is it... Yeah, is it this one? Because if it is, I have some terrible news for you. Or are you talking about Night in the Woods? So this is not from a game. This is just an album that some dude made. That is just... That is just this. So yeah, this is not from a game. This is just an album made by Ramuski. And if you want to support it, it only has 30,000 views. But no, it is not a game at all. I love this guy's music, though. This guy's probably my favorite artist right now. But I think that will be all of the code for today. So end of day 9, git push origin master. I would also like to actually bonus goals. We'll just call this bonus. This isn't specifically like game particular. I will say automatic web build, because I think that people in chat, people watching the stream, would like to learn how web builds work. So I'm gonna call it for today. I feel pretty good about this progress. I gave up on Night in the Woods. Do you recommend it? I do. If you cannot play Night in the Woods, watching someone else play it also works, because I know Night in the Woods is a little bit slow. One of the things that like frustrated me about the game that I was able to look past was like the like 2-minute walk back into town every single day. That kind of bothered me. So if you can't play it, at least watch it, because it is a really good game. I really, really like it. Your player sprite didn't export? That's weird. One thing you can do, actually, let me show you this before I go anywhere else. As a last little tip for specifically you, Saint Webby. If you want to test your Godot game without going through the process of exporting it and uploading it to itch, you can get the exact same export settings. Let me set this project up to export web really quickly. This will take like a second or two, or like 10. Also, Cosmic, did you see the GitHub proposal we were going over today? Because there is a new... "5 minutes late." Yeah. No, not for the server game. No, it's for Godot. It's the most exciting update that's ever existed, which is that there's currently a draft for a thing where you can run your game inside of the editor, and it is cooler than you think it is. So you're able to pause the game and click on it, and it'll highlight the nodes in the editor. So you can... It's more like Unity, where you can actually edit your game as it's running. And this is also a detachable window. You can have a separate window. You can turn on this little, like the little pick tool, and then you can click on things. People are very excited about this. I hope it gets in before 4.4 dev period is over, which we have a lot of time for that. I think it's like 3 months. But I like that the branch is called Guess Godot is Unity after all. But okay, so now that this is done, so if you want to test your web build without exporting it and then uploading to itch, you can actually just hit this little button up here and hit run in browser. And then this will build it. It'll export it for you. And then, so there's actually a small issue. So it'll open it up. This is not what this game is. So Firefox actually has a caching issue. So you can open up a private window, paste this in. If it doesn't load your changes, if you're using Firefox, I recommend using a private window, but you can actually open it up in your browser without exporting it to itch. So you can try to fix your issues there. This should be like identical to what you see in itch. So just this button up here, if you're using Firefox, you have to copy and paste it into a private window. But yeah, so you don't have to go through the whole process of uploading to itch, wait for it to build, open it up, 10-minute dev time. You can just hit the button. But I am going to call it here. Thank you all for tuning in. I am going to work more on Thursday on this. I'm not going to make any promises about working on this on Sunday because Rivals 2 beta is this weekend. But I am taking Friday off of work, so maybe I will do that. Maybe I will stream on Sunday. Who knows? We'll see. But good night. Take care.